Ladies and gentlemen, this is Yup, I Like Wrestling. I go by the name of KD. And yup, we're interviewing Joakim Morales, one of the owners of Battle Club Pro, and who also wears other hats in professional wrestling. Joakim, what's going on, man?
What's up, Kay? It's been a long time, man. How you doing?
It has been, man. How
Happy
you
New
been?
Year.
Happy New Year to you. How you been?
I'm good, man. Just on the grind all the time.
On the grind?
Man. Yeah, man.
So you're on the grind with Battle Club Pro. Tell me about Battle Club Pro. How did it get started?
I'll give you the long story in a short form. One of my closest friends now, because of Battle Club, was doing production for other wrestling companies.
Okay.
And thought to himself that he could do this, I don't want to say better, but different.
Okay.
And in early 2016, came up with the Battle Club Pro idea. Said he wanted to bring great wrestling back to the Bronx. He reached out to me April, May, and he was like, hey man, I want you to do commentary, because we were Facebook friends for a long time, and I'm guessing he thought I had good insight when it came to professional wrestling.
Okay.
So as the time drew, our first event was in October 1st of 2016. As the time got closer in, June, July, I was like, I want to be more than just a commentator. So I reached out to him and I was like, yo man, what is it you need from me? What can I do? I want to be a partner. And, he, with all the best intentions in his mind, was like, I don't want you to take any financial risk in this. You can help me in any way, shape, or form. So, I jumped on his production team. We were wrestling companies like Tier 1 at the time, Wrestle Pro, all over New York, New Jersey area. And I started seeing more talent. And whatever it is that he needed from me, I went and did. October hit, and it was just like, you ever just realize this is what you're supposed to do with life?
Of course.
I've had two of those moments. What I do outside of wrestling, I work in the education system, and it was just like, I knew the moment I started working with the kids and the feedback I got from parents and my coworkers, I was like, okay, I belong here.
Okay.
And then Battle by the 6th, October 1st, 2016, Hunts Point, Bronx, New York, and it was just like, I belong here as well. And it went on from there. Our first three events were in the Bronx. It was Battle by the 6th. That was featuring Tony Nese versus Anthony Bowens in the first ever main event.
Tony Nese, who's a part of 205 at the moment.
Yeah, and then coincidentally, our first match ever was Massage Envy versus EYFBO, who goes by LAX now.
Exactly, Santana and Ortiz in Impact Wrestling.
And they're on this card coming up this Saturday that we have. Second event featured Drew Galloway in the main event against Anthony Bowens
Another
again.
205 competitor.
Yeah, Galloway's in NXT. He's tearing it up, man. You meet people and they're just surprised by how nice they are, man. He was just one of the best. Third event.
Drew McIntyre.
I
got confused with Jack Gallagher.
It's okay. It's all right.
Drew McIntyre, of course, who's currently in NXT.
Former NXT champion. Mm-hmm. Then the third event, May the Villain Reign, that featured EC3, who is all over the place now with Rockstar Spud. And it's just
a lot of current
WWE
competitors
who
competed already in Battle Club Pro, and you guys only have how many years? Established?
This is a year and a half.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then at the May the Villain Reign, Mia Yim debuted for us, and she is the star of this event on Saturday. We actually named it after her. She is the War Queen, and it's called Welcome to War. So, that's how it started building. I did the footwork, did posters, reached out to talent, started doing creative things with Carlos. And if you don't know, Carlos Aristide is my partner. We co-own Battle Club together, and it's everything I've ever loved. And because of him, I've been able to do a lot of crazy things in wrestling, things I never thought I'd be able to do. I brought wrestling to my neighborhood in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. That event was the Bounty in Kings County featuring British Strong Style, which was insane. And it wasn't just British Strong Style. We had Shane Strickland, we had Matt Cross, Deonna Purrazzo was on the show. Like, it was just nuts. And I could say I brought that home. I bought that
It's a lot of pride involved when you bring an event to your hometown, specifically around your neck of the woods, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. I mean, that must have been a great feeling in more ways than one.
Yeah, no, it's easily the biggest moment in my life. Like,
wow.
I don't have, I don't have a wife, I don't have kids. All I got is wrestling, and it's like that's it. That's my crowning achievement. That was our in linear ourselves. That was our fourth event. We did a co-hosting event with Tier 1, the one who knocks, and that was in Laboon.
Okay.
So we've got 3 boroughs covered. And then in November, we did, first time ever, I don't even know how this happens, JT Dunn versus Matt Cross. And it was just like, I couldn't believe it because they've been on the scene forever. They All Fall Down was the name of the event. And that was the first one in Jersey. Okay. It was scary because it's like, okay, we're treading new territory here. This is New Jersey. We know what the New York crowd brings.
And the thing with New Jersey is that a lot of wrestling territories are in New Jersey currently right now. Yeah. So I would think Jersey's actually a really good spot to be in.
Yeah, but when you've succeeded one place, you don't know how it's going to translate.
Exactly.
So, but Jersey was great, and it was so great we decided to come back for this event. March 3rd, Welcome to War. I mean, we have LAX, all of LAX, Homicide, Santana, Ortiz, and they're going against the Crusade. That's the Carnies, Nick Iggy and Carrie Awful, and Darius Carter. And Darius Carter is the guy who had the controversial finish with Pete Dunne in Brooklyn. I'm not going to get into it more. If you were there, you saw it. It was a hell of a match, and something happened, and, it's the business.
What other notable names has competed in Battle Club Pro?
Man, so we've had Moose, who, I mean, when he started, people used to rag on him. He's a football player. He can't go. Every time I see Moose, he is so much better, and the crowd loves him. Okay. They love the chant.
Of course.
They love the way he moves. I mean, his body's gotten in such better shape. Oh, God. Moose, British Strong Style. We had Mustache Mountain, Tyler Bate, the first UK champ, and Trent Seven. And a funny story. So I'm calling the action.
Funny story, Trent Seven.
I'm calling the story with my broadcast partner and the commissioner of Battle Club Pro, Dave Sturcio. And I've got a friend of mine who does the reporting for Battle Club Pro. He's an author, he's a professor, great family man, Patrick Hickey Jr. So he's there and he's writing up the report as it's happening. And one of the Carnies tosses Trent Seven out the ring, and I call it, of course, Trent Seven out on the floor right in front of our journalist, Patrick Hickey. And just like a horror movie, Trent Seven peeks up over my commentary table and goes, "Who's a journalist?" And I'm like, "Patrick, you met him early." He goes, "Oh, I know you." And he just drops. And it's hysterical, and I can't keep my stuff together on commentary. I start laughing. And I actually think it was caught on camera, and my friend Patrick stops writing because now we're both laughing. So the match is going on, and we can't help but laugh because Trent Seven's comedic timing is, bar none, one of the best I've ever met in the business.
Now, we talked about how you wear different hats in professional wrestling. What are some of those hats besides being one of the owners of Battle Club Pro?
I have done production for many companies. Tier 1, WrestlePro, Fiesta Pro. I've helped with production for Great Combination. I've also done commentary for Pro Wrestling Explosion, Tier 1, Wrestlers Laboratory, 5 Boroughs Wrestling, which, again, this Friday they have a show featuring Tommy Dreamer and JT Dunn. Big
Yonkers,
names.
New York native.
Yeah, and that's going to be in Brooklyn, and it's their first show of the year. So I do commentary for 5 Boroughs along with, I feel like I'm missing someone here. I've done commentary for Legacy Wrestling out in Pennsylvania, Live Prov in Rhode Island. That's on the commentary front. I have a new project, Innovative Pro Wrestling, where I'm actually the commissioner.
Oh,
and
really?
It's not just on screen. I'm actually reaching out to guys. I'm booking the show. So it went from, I started as a commentator in Battle Club Pro in October 2016, and now I'm booking talent not only for Battle Club, but for Independent Pro Wrestling, which is their first show is on May 27th of this year, Memorial Day weekend, and they've got a great card lined up as well. Nick Gage versus Danny Moff. We've got Shane Strickland versus JT Dunn. I mean, this is Anthony Henry and James Drake have an opponent yet to be named, but it'll be named soon, and I know who it is. I just don't want to spoil it because we haven't had the graphic put out yet.
We're not gonna spoil that one.
No. But it's crazy. Jessica Havoc is going to be on that show, and she's with Stockade and G Raver in The Awakening. And they're going to face the Knight Riders, a really great team in the Ohio area. I've talked to them. I've seen them in action in the CZW, and it was just like the match just made so much sense. So it's an intergender six-way trios match.
Now, intergender matches are starting to be a trend now.
Yeah.
I mean, you have James Ellsworth, who has an intergender title floating around. Pictures are on the internet. What are your thoughts on intergender matches?
I am a fan of it when it's done the appropriate way and when it's with the appropriate talent. We had an intergender match at Battle Club. It was Darius Carter putting his world championship up against Jordan Grace, and he almost lost it, and he's still the champ. So he hasn't lost it ever. I wouldn't say ever. There was some scuffle, but he ended up getting it back. But he just came this close. His foot, his toes were underneath the rope, and Commissioner saw it. I didn't from my vantage point. So the crowd thought that Jordan won. She hit a running power bomb, and the crowd went nuts. And unfortunately, the decision was reversed, and Darius went on to win. But we've had intergender matches, and we're going to have some more in store. You know, the future's coming.
You're going to have to tune into Battle Club Pro in order to know if they're going to have any more intergender matches. Now, where can they find Battle Club Pro on the internet?
You got Battle Club Pro all over the place. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We have a website, battleclubpro.com, where you can buy tickets. The event, again, is this Saturday, March 3rd, and then the lineup is stacked. I'm so proud to say this card is my dream. Like, I put this together.
Okay, wow.
And it was just insane, the vision I had, and it came together. Like, there were virtually no hiccups.
Okay.
And just be there. Like, we have a open tryouts for female talent. So we're looking to do a all-female show in May, and that's going to be called May the Queen Reign. And we're going to have open tryouts for ring announcer, personalities, and commentary. And then we have a seminar with Mia Yim. Mia Yim's going to be teaching future talent. So, like, if you want to take the opportunity, all the info's online. You can come and learn from one of the best. I mean, she was in the Mae Young Classic. Like, it doesn't get much bigger than that when it comes to women's wrestling.
Now, what titles do Battle Club Pro currently have?
Currently, we don't have any titles. We are in the process of setting up a tournament for our World Championship. The only person who's qualified is Matt McIntosh. He won an incredible four-way match at the Brooklyn show against Mike Verna, Anthony Bowens, and Brute Van Slyke. And he won that match, and he catapulted himself. He is in the finals. He skipped the whole tournament. He is in the finals to crown the first ever Battle Club Pro champion.
You're a commentator. You've commentated for a long time, and I'm pretty sure you've commentated a lot of great matches. If you were to pick 3 of the best matches that you've commentated, what matches would those be?
So the favorite is everyone's favorite seems to be the Carnies versus Mustache Mountain in Brooklyn. The match had comedy, it had banter, they were going back and forth. They actually played I can't remember the name, the beanbag toss into the whole cornhole. They played cornhole to start the match, and they just went and they obliterated each other. Like, the crowd loved it. The false finishes, the kickouts, the move sets. I mean, like I said, that funny moment with Trent, that was unbelievable. The first main event I called, Anthony Bowens versus Tony Nese, it got a standing ovation. First main event, the crowd, first ever Battle Club chant. They were smashing on the guardrails. The crowd got up, and it was just surreal to see that match. And Tony actually, he did Raw. Did Battle Club, and then did Raw. So it was just like, that's crazy. He was on TV, and then he did us, and then he was back on TV.
Now I have a question. Usually WWE talent that's under contract for them, they usually can't compete for other companies. Now, I mean, how exactly that worked out with Tony Nese?
It was a godsend. He didn't sign the exclusive contract yet. He had per appearance fee, appearance set up.
Really?
And I think we were one of his last indie appearances. Maybe 2 or 3 more after that. And then he was full-time with WWE. So that's how that worked. And that's the same way it worked with British Strong Style. We agreed to things with them before they were full-time employees with WWE. And we're the only New York company to bring them in to work for New York. So that was
I'm actually
crazy.
surprised that you guys are the only New York-based company to bring them in, because I would think with that type of situation, other companies will bring them in as well.
I totally expected that to be the case too, but I mean, it was nuts. You know, like they were the hottest act in wrestling at the time, and we had got them in for August of 2017. And just to finish your first question, it's a tie. There was just been so many incredible matches. One that sticks out is Desmond Xavier, who's killing it on
he's very
Impact
talented.
Against Shane Strickland. Like, the match wasn't long. It was just the way they moved. It was incredible.
They had great chemistry with each other.
Unbelievable chemistry. But I'll tell you, my favorite moment was at May the Villain Reign when we announced the Brooklyn show. The crowd went bonkers. Like, you know, we're in the Bronx, and the Bronx is great. We did what we wanted to do. We brought great wrestling to the Bronx. So we had the graphic and the video showed up. The crowd went nuts when they saw Brooklyn. So, you know, No Sleep Till Brooklyn plays, like, what's next for us? And it showed the main events we had beforehand. So it's playing, and then, like, it goes silent. And then I think it's Jack White who sings the YouTube cover, Love is Blindness. That's the British Strong Style theme in progress. That starts playing, and the crowd got 10 times louder. I don't know how. They went berserk. And just the announcement of British Strong Style being at Battle Club, I mean, it was surreal. We did, I want to say, 50 pre-orders that day. It was intense. It was intense. Like, that moment, just like the shivers. Oh, man, it was crazy.
Now, if someone wanted to become a wrestling commentator, and they asked you what I'm going to ask you now, and that is, what advice would you give me if I want to become a wrestling commentator?
I was blessed. I knew the right people. You know, Carlos started the company, and he reached out to me. The only thing I could say is probably be the best person you can be, hang around the business, offer to help in any way, shape, or form, do your homework, and try to build connections. And then when you build connections, because the thing is that they're people, you know, and it's tough.
Exactly.
But if you show that your true intentions are that you want to be someone or something in the business, and you show your true intentions that you're not awful person, which, you know, some people have the misconception that a lot of these wrestlers and these bookers and promoters are. They're really not, but it's a hard business to get into. But if you show your true intentions that you just love it and you want to be in it,
It's all about passion.
Yeah, the passion, right? If someone sees your passion, someone will take a chance on you.
Sometimes it's not who you know, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
It is who, yeah. Like I said, I am blessed. I literally thank Carlos every week, and he tells me to shut the F up.
Carlos, we thank you.
No, I didn't. I thank him every week, and he always tells me to shut up. But I will always be thankful. He's given me everything I've ever wanted in life.
What's been the biggest hurdle for you personally, owning Battle Club Pro?
The uncertainty. You know, you do a pre-sale, and the pre-sale numbers don't match the numbers you need to make profit. So, like, that uncertainty, like, it's always scary to wait till game day to see how many buys you get at the door. Like, you want a strong pre-sale number, but when it comes to waiting for the door, it's like, all right, here we go. And by the grace of all the wrestling gods, like, we've been fine every event. We have done what we needed to do, and it's just incredible.
I personally think Battle Club Pro has done an excellent job.
I appreciate that.
For a wrestling company that's only been around for a year and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are all over the place, social media wise. It's just an amazing thing to see, especially someone like you. You've always been passionate. You've always worked hard. You've always been great with people, and it's a great feeling to see you do what you're doing at Battle Club Pro.
I'm so happy about that. Just real quick, again, I gotta thank Carlos Aristide.
Carlos, we thank you again.
Seriously. Dave Sturcio has helped me with my commentating.
Dave Sturcio, I was actually present for his first ever match at Pro Wrestling Syndicate in September 2012. It was a student battle royal, which he ended up winning.
Yeah.
He had a lot of people there to support him.
Yeah,
so it's a small world.
We've talked about that story a lot, and he always goes back to that. Like, when you have the right people supporting you, you can do well. And he's doing a little bit of everything now, so he's rocking and rolling. The guys at Wrestlers Laboratory, Chris Ruiz and Mike Sweeney, I got to thank them because they brought me on for commentary. Like, they're the legit second steady gig I've had. And a lot of their guys have come on to take over Battle Club. We've had Shane Mercer come from the lab. The 13th Floor came from the lab. This show, the Diamond Dogs are back from the lab. They had a killer show against the 13th Floor in November. So now they're going to face one of our hottest tag teams in the Ugly Ducklings. Patrick Hickey Jr. has opened so many doors for me. I have come to know people in crazy roles in life, like Dan Reichert. I can say I've had plenty of conversations with him. He's constantly on CBS. I know Arda Ocal, and that's because of Patrick. And I have met him plenty of times, and we've done conventions together, and we've bugged out, and we've had conversations. Patrick Hickey Jr., the author of The Minds Behind the Video Games, is a beautifully written book, 36 of the hottest video games throughout the years. He's contacted the developers and gotten their stories. Because if I asked you who made GTA, who would you say? You would say Rockstar, right?
Oh yeah, Rockstar.
But you wouldn't say the person. And that's what Patrick Hickey Jr. did. Yeah. So that's a great book.
I didn't know
coming
that.
out in a couple of weeks.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, so he has those three guys have helped immensely. And just all the talent I've come across. Mark Adam Haggerty is the only announcer, commentator, and personality that I know outside of the ring. Like, he doesn't wrestle, but he goes up and down the East Coast doing everything. And he's an inspiration. So thank you, Mark. Seriously, he's one of my closest friends, and he's always down to help the cause.
It goes to show you, if you're not networking, you're not working. You have to be good to people. You have to be passionate about what you do, the craft that you do. It doesn't matter if it's in wrestling or in somewhere else. And Joakim Morales is someone who's symbolic of what I just said right now.
Yeah.
Now, Joakim, growing up or even now, who are some of your favorite wrestling commentators
Oh, man.
that actually inspired you?
Mauro Ranallo is
Really?
like, it's just listening to him
he's
is like
great.
magic. And it's weird because he's got such a different style. But the crazy part is that, like, I've never really stuck to anyone in commentary except Mauro. Most of my, like, stuff on my own has come from ESPN, as weird as that sounds.
Really?
ESPN and MSG. Like,
Now, if you want to name people from MSG and ESPN,
Mike
go right
Breen,
ahead.
you know.
Mike Breen.
Yeah, Mike Breen.
Yonkers, New York native.
Yeah, you know, you watch those Knicks game, Breen is just,
Yes.
it's just one of those voices. Oh, man. And ESPN, Michael Kay, Don LaGreca, Mike and Mike, like, they're just their style. Like, I feel when you hear them, when you listen to them, you're having a conversation, even though it's one-sided.
Exactly.
And, like, that's what I try to bring. I don't try to talk at the crowd. If you ever heard my commentary, I try to, like, engage and give them a little insight, like, hey, this is happening. So I don't know if I come across it. I'm definitely nowhere in their league, but that's what I try to do. That's what I try to emulate.
I mean, of course. I mean, you have your own style, and you listen to those individuals, and you take some of their good traits, and you put it, into what you're doing. You're not going to take everything of what they're doing, but you got to learn from their mistakes as well, and take some of that into you as well.
Yeah. That's all I try to do.
And you picked really, really, really good people.
Yeah, I thought you were going to ask me who were my favorite talents in wrestling.
Okay, who are some of your very favorite talents in wrestling that you would like to see at Battle Club Pro?
Oh, well, my top all-time performer you never see in the wrestling ring ever again.
And who's that?
Who do you think that is? You'll
really
never
don't
see
know.
him in a wrestling ring again if he's still alive.
You'll never see him in a wrestling ring again. I'm going to go with Shawn Michaels.
CM Punk.
CM Punk. Well, I don't know. I don't know
That's
about that.
my top.
There's a chance you might see him in a ring
maybe,
again.
I don't think so. He seems one of those guys who, when he says something, he sticks to it. But I just remember coming across him on TNA randomly. He was tagging with Julio De Niro, and I just watched him. I was like, that guy's got something. And I've been a fan ever since. I went on the internet, researched his IWA Mid-South stuff, and I just followed him. And I was at his first televised event for WWE, the ECW event at the Hammerstein Ballroom. That's my guy. I was there when he got day one of 434.
I was there too.
Yeah,
Madison Square
you know what I'm
Garden. Survivor Series 2011.
Right. And I was there with his match against The Undertaker, which wasn't the main event, but I think was the best match of the night. And yeah, he's my all-time favorite. Yeah.
You never know. I mean, I personally think you can see CM Punk going on a route to different wrestling companies outside of WWE.
I'll come out my pocket if I could get Punk at Battle Club. Because I mean, if you look at our logo, it's semi-inspired by Punk because it's got that fist sticking up out of the gear.
That's actually
Yeah. So
what other talents are you a fan of and that you would like to see at Battle Club Pro?
I'm a fan of the workhorse guys: Macho Man Randy Savage, Rick Steamboat.
Wow, old school.
Yeah, I mean, you want to bring it back to newer. Cesaro is incredible. Cesaro is got this undefeatable urge to be the best whenever he's on whenever he's in the ring. He's just worked so hard to get his functional strength.
What about Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, and Shawn Michaels?
Those goes without saying. Like, I feel like if you don't admire their work, then you're not a real wrestling fan. That's my personal opinion. Like, I get it, personalities sell, and merchandise drives a lot, but wrestling in general is just amazing.
I mean, Chris Jericho's another name.
Yeah, Jericho is.
I know what type of wrestler you like now.
You do, yeah. I kind of
have an idea of what type of wrestler he's looking for the Battle Club Pro.
Well,
promotion. Now I'm going to finish what I was going to. I'm gonna finish that by asking you, what type of talent do you look for when you do recruit or book someone for one of your shows?
You have to be able to do something better than most. So we've built the company around guys like Anthony Bowens and Matt McIntosh, who in the ring, I think, are untouchable.
Okay.
And we've also built around Darius Carter, who on the mic cannot be touched. We're bringing in talent where the gimmick is so strong that people fall in love with them, along with their wrestling ability. The Ugly Ducklings, the Carnies. We're bringing in Harlow O'Hara from the South. She has the most attention to detail in a gimmick on the independent scene ever. She has a 5-minute video of backstory that no one in wrestling can touch. If you can check it out, it's on her stuff. She's on YouTube, Facebook, the whole nine. So, like, it's a little bit of everything. You just have to be willing to take a look. And I'm always doing homework, which is awesome. And at the same time, it's like, hey, it's 11 o'clock at night and I got to be at work in 5 hours.
Now, can wrestlers or any other wrestling talent contact you directly?
Always. Now,
where can they contact you directly?
Joakim Morales on all social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I don't have Snapchat. Yeah, that's it. You can, if you want to just cut to the page, Battle Club Pro on Facebook, battleclubpro.com. But you can send all your inquiries to me. You can send your resume, and I always respond because I know how it feels. Because since I've done commentary, to reach out to companies and have no one answer back, so I always try to answer immediately.
In 5 years from now, where would you like Battle Club Pro to be?
I want. The dream is that when people say New York City independent wrestling, Battle Club Pro is the first name you think.
New York needs a comeback, not just in professional wrestling, but also in hip-hop.
Hip-hop, basketball. Let's see if the Yankees can get us a championship.
Oh, Yankees are fine.
Before I go, though, I got to think, I like wrestling.
Okay.
I've been a fan of you guys for years. I've been coming to these pay-per-view parties forever. Sonny and I have talked a ton. You and I had an amazing conversation about the business. You guys have shown support, and I'm honored to say that I Like Wrestling is sponsoring Battle Club, the first one they've ever sponsored, the first independent show you guys have ever sponsored.
Day one-ish.
That's touched my heart, man, because the first business meeting I ever had was with Sonny, and it was about Battle Club and about sponsorship, and it took a while, but we got around to it. Because you guys market yourself so well, you had to see that we could match your hustle. So It means so much to me that you guys have our
first
support.
of all, you're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
On behalf of I Like Wrestling, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for us. Thanks to Battle Club Pro. Carlos, we thank you again.
Yes.
Because you guys have shown us a lot of love. You guys have given us a lot of passionate wrestling conversations as well as help throughout the years. And we're going to continue, working together and so on and so forth. Any last words you have for all the listeners as well as the watchers?
March 3rd, Welcome to War featuring Mia Yim, LAX. We have 9 or 10 new faces coming up. We are starting the show with a female match. We're ending the show with a female match. Harlow O'Hara is versus Willow Nightingale, the NYC Starling champion. They're facing off in the first match of the night, and the main event is Jessica Havoc versus Su Yung. And then everything in between is just monstrous. You know, the typical names: Bowens, McIntosh, Carter is going to be there, and then we're bringing in new guys, the Lynch Mob, who are all over the Evolve scene. I'm so proud of this card. This card is such a mix of talent. We have people coming from North, the Greektown area, the fraternity. People love them. We have new talent coming: Chip Day, just Billy Brash. I literally spent hours in front of my computer scouting talent, reached out, and I was able to get them. So this is my everything. This show is me.
And Yep, I Like Wrestling is sponsoring that event. You can find us on the internet at yepilw.com. You can also follow us on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/yepilw, youtube.com/yepilw. It's yepilw all over the social media outlets such as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Might even catch us on mihente.com, AOL Messenger, Asian Avenue. We're everywhere. Just Google us. We're everywhere. Or you could just contact Joakim and he could direct you all the way to us.
Sure.
Joakim, I want to thank you.
Thanks so much.
Battle Club Pro. You too, Carlos, for this great interview. And on behalf of Yep, I Like Wrestling, we wish you the best of luck in anything you put your hands on wrestling related.
And I wish you guys the same. And hey, Janelle, don't think I forgot about you. Wrestle Bay 101. Thanks, man.
All right, man. Guys, you have it. Yep, I Like Wrestling. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.